Rural folks, what are the things city folks won't understand?
Weird noises in the woods?
Deer.
Glowing eyes in the shadows?
Deer.
Something following you down a dark country road?
Deer.
It's always fucking deer. You need to carefully plan out your shopping needs because that trip to Walmart or Home Depot might be a 2-hour round trip.
You or someone you know has a personal vendetta against a wild animal in the area.
There is no animal control out where I live, and no shelters within 100 miles that will take strays.
If you dump your cat or dog, they will be eaten by a predator, starved to death, or be shot. Legitimately being late for school or appointments due to being stuck behind a tractor. Country life is slower than your lifespan. City, you can go year after year seeing new buildings pop up, business, events, etc. Country life. Same county fair every year, maybe a new building every 10 years, new business 5 years.
Having your name and age listed in the local newspaper when you're pulled over for speeding and your family, friends get to give you shit for it because everyone lives to read the weekly police report.
I own a house that sits smack in the middle of 3 cattle farms. The other night, I took my dog out to pee well after dark. There was a weird noise, and a pair of glowing eyes at the end of my driveway. It was, of course, a cow. I called my neighbor to the north. He drove his UTV down, inspected the cow, didn't recognize it, and called my neighbor to the south. He sent his teenage son over in a car with no catalytic converter, muffler. He also didn't recognize the cow. Finally, my neighbor from the west was summoned on his ATV. It was his cow.
The rest of us stood there drinking beer and watching the western neighbor drive his cow home with an ATV.
Good times.
How dark it is at night.
You see how many stars there are, how bright and gorgeous, how busy the night sky truly is. Weather changes your life. I've sat on the porch with my parents watching hail destroy our wheat crop days before it was due for harvest.
There's nothing you could do. You just watch.
I've also stood in a circle with my parents and older brother in the yard while we prayed for rain. For farmers, weather is destiny. Town pants. In the city, people ignore sirens and pay attention to gunshot sounds. In the country, people ignore the sound of gunfire and pay attention to the sound of sirens.
Standing on my back porch in winter and there is absolute dead silence. If you don't make dinner, you don't eat.
No Uber Eats or Grubhub, no delivery pizza or takeout, unless you want gas station food. Most places nearby close by 5 p.m. on weekdays and have extremely limited hours or are closed entirely on weekends. It can be pretty damn peaceful. I'm reminded of my time at the University of Iowa.
A fellow I knew, grad student age, but he wasn't actively attending, walked with a cane because of a gimpy leg.
He'd broke it when he was a child, but he'd tell anyone who asked that he was mauled by a sow. He said the city people would just laugh it off as a joke. The country people would look at him in horror and say, "And you're still alive?"